We'll keep it going on into the night. We're chasing clouds until we find our light. Then we won't ever let it go. We're holding on to our souls. I'll keep on loving you for life. I'll keep on loving you for life.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a seasonal favorite, apple pie. Every year I make this recipe and my whole family loves it, so I hope you give it a try and love it too. Throughout this video you may hear my baby in the background playing, but life as a stay-at-home mom, what can you do? That being said, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is peel all of your apples and then slice them up. You'll need about 5 to 6 apples for one pie. In this video I'm going to be making 2 pies, so everything will be doubled in this, but I'll have the correct amount of ingredients and directions listed below in the description.
I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Now in a pan you're going to want to melt 1 stick of butter, and once that's all melted you're going to stir in 3 tablespoons of flour, and you're going to mix that well so it forms sort of a paste. Then after that you're going to add 1/4 cup of water, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and mix all that well and bring to a boil for about a minute. Then you're going to reduce the heat and just let that simmer for an additional minute.
Keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get down.
You're going to want to heat your oven to 425, and keep in mind that with these ingredients I am making 2 pies, so unless you want to make 2 pies, don't add in all the ingredients that you see in this video.
Perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
When I'm up through the night, I can't turn down the noise, tear all the worries out of my mind. About who I'm supposed to be, I start to believe I can't get it right. Remember the days I let slip away, they were simpler times. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life
now you're going to take that mixture you just made and pour it into your apples and stir it all up. I'm using deep dish pie dishes, and the crust is just the already made Pillsbury pie dough, but you can make your own homemade pie crust. There's tons of recipes on Pinterest. I just like to keep it simple and use the refrigerated kind.
If there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Now you're going to pour your pie mixture into the crust and make sort of a mound. You want it to come up over the top of the crust slightly in the middle, and just kind of pack the apples in there. That's going to give the pie a lot of flavor and apples in there and not seem so empty. Also, a little side note, if you're using refrigerated pie dough, take it out when you start to make your pie to unroll it, because if you wait till you're ready for it to be unrolled and you try to do it when it's too cold, it's going to stick and tear a lot. Now you're going to drape your other pie crust over the top. You can cut it up and do kind of a lattice design if you want. I don't have time to do that, so I just put it over the top, and then I use a knife to slightly cut little design on it and put what I cut out back on top of it, because I'm not going to waste any of this pie crust.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind.
After you cover your pie with aluminum foil, put it on a cookie sheet, because some of that pie juice may bubble out of the crust and over, and you don't want to make a mess in your oven. And then you're just going to cook it covered with the foil for 10 minutes. After that 10 minutes is up, you're going to reheat your oven to 350 and bake it for an additional 40 minutes.
I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie.
Alright, so now it's been 40 minutes, so you're going to come back and remove the aluminum foil from the pie. And this is where I made a mistake this time. I read online that if you use water to put over the pie crust, it makes it crispier. And before, I always used egg yolk, and the egg yolk turns out much better. The pie crust was not as good. And then I always sprinkle a mixture of cinnamon and sugar over the crust to give it a little sweetness. But yeah, I would definitely recommend using egg yolk, not water like I did in this video. And then once you're done treating your crust, you're going to close the oven and bake it for an additional 10 to 15 minutes until that crust is a nice golden color.
I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. I just wanna be happy.
After about 10 minutes, you're just going to take the pie out of the oven, and that is it. You are done and you have a delicious pie. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.
Keep on loving you, lie, lie, lie.